All right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Game of Death 1978. This is going to be another Plan 9 movies. Although it was disappointing, it wasn't as good as Bruce Lee Fights Back from the Grave. I'm not a big fan of Bruce Lee movies. I just want to say that right off the bat. They made famously after Bruce Lee's death. It had nothing to do with any of the stuff that Bruce Lee wanted to make. Although it probably would have been equally as good, I think, if Bruce Lee had actually taken control of the entire movie before he died. Um, so they basically twisted it around the story. It was supposed to be about Eastern philosophy and stuff. I guess that was a later movie after Bruce Lee died called The Silent Flute, I think. Uh, is that what it's called? Yeah, I think it's called this. It's with David Carradine. Man. David Carradine was always using Bruce Lee's ideas both in Kung Fu and in The Silent Flute, which is another great flick. Uh, which is not to say that Kung Fu or actually, I thought David Carradine. I think David Carradine is better in terms of Kung Fu stuff than Bruce Lee himself. When people used to worship like a god. I remember my grade school friend. He had these nunchuck things. He didn't know how to use them, but he thought they were pretty cool. And you see the nunchucks in this movie too. It's about 40 minutes of Bruce Lee footage, stuff that he directed, um, mixed in with a bunch of other stuff. Um, People don't like this movie because it's got a Bruce Lee pasty kind of thing on the Korean guy's face. So half the time it's the Korean stand-in guy for dead Bruce Lee. And he doesn't look at all like Bruce Lee, by the way. So in the beginning, they do this trollolo pasty kind of face in the mirror. It looks cartoonish almost. Um, which is kind of funny, actually. People find it annoying, but I think it's quite funny. And then, oh, you can tell when the Korean guy is being mixed together with the Bruce Lee fight scenes because number one, the guy is much smaller and his face doesn't look the same. Doesn't look anywhere near like Bruce Lee face. So a lot of the film, he's got his face covered up with sunglasses, or he's wearing a beard or a fake old man costume kind of thing. So this movie takes place in Hong Kong and Macau. Basically, Billy Lowe, as he's called, the lead protagonist, played by dead Bruce Lee and the Korean guy. He's they're trying to kill him. There's like some kind of conspiracy to kill him because the syndicate wants him, and he's refusing to join the Chinese syndicate there in Hong Kong. So, so he's got a white girlfriend. Her life is in danger. He wants her to split to the United States. Meanwhile, the syndicate is being run by Henry Raphael Kane, which is kind of ironic from the Kung Fu show. You can believe that. There's also uh, Billy Lowe's girlfriend, side business, some kind of platonic type sister relationship with a news reporter who was also in Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. So there's some decent actors in this. I think the dialogue and the editing are what people kind of complain about. Admittedly, I had to rewind it a couple times when I was with my son, just because I found Transformers: Age of Extinction special effects too distracting while he was watching it, and I was watching this. So I just went back and picked up some of the dialogue. It's not that great, but then again, um, any of Bruce Lee's films, the dialogue isn't that great either. So I don't know what people are complaining about. I guess they're offended, especially Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, who's also dead, was offended by this movie because they profited off of the dead man. Oh, gee. Um, all those people who sold nunchucks, I guess, are evil people too. If that's the case. Anyways, um, the big payoff scene in this movie. I think the reason why most people watch it, if you're a Bruce Lee completist type, is because it does have 40 minutes of archival footage with Bruce Lee fighting, and the fight with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which lasts for about 5 minutes at or towards the end. Um, I really enjoyed watching that. Um, it's also nice to see Hong Kong and Macau back in 1978, whenever this thing was actually filmed, probably earlier. Um, yeah, so they pretty much scrapped Bruce Lee's ideas and they just made their own kind of pure kung fu revenge type film. Um, the reason why there's some footage in Macau is because I guess Robert Wall is fighting there, and he's part of the Chinese syndicate in this one. Um, so yeah, I don't know why people put this movie down so much. I mean, it's just about the same as Enter the Dragon as far as entertainment value, um, or any other Bruce Lee kung fu movie for that matter. I mean, dialogue isn't that great. Um, there's no real intriguing plot to it. Um, they play that kind of weird da 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 that they played in another Bruce Lee movie with Chuck Norris, and they play the same dang scenes in the beginning of the movie when the credits are rolling. The same scenes with Chuck Norris and at the Roman Coliseum. What else can I say about this movie? It's released by Miramax, so I guess Miramax now is profiting off of two dead people, father and the son. Because the son sure had plenty of bad things to say about it. Probably got more people to watch it. Actually, probably backfired on him. Um, the reason to watch is the kung fu fighting, especially the one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The acting is pretty good, also, I must say. Um, there's no nudity per se, but there's a lot of kung fu type violence, which is, I guess, why it gets an R rating. It's not that gratuitous, in my opinion, but whatever. Glad checked it out. I'm gonna look at Big Boss tomorrow. I think tomorrow's Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so maybe I'll come home after I drop off my son. Grab pot stickers, some fried rice, and just sit down and watch Big Boss. We'll see if it's any better than any of the Bruce Lee movies that I've seen thus far. Although the Bruce Lee fights from the grave, which is a total fraud. Another Korean guy. He plays Bruce Lee throughout the entire movie, but he's not really Bruce Lee. The only relation to Bruce Lee in that movie is when the fake Bruce Lee pops out of the grave, which is pretty cool. Like the first 5 minutes. So I love that movie. It's not even a Bruce Lee movie, even though it has his name in the title. But that's about the only movie with his name in it that that I really loved. The stuff that he did as far as acting, not as good. Kind of boring, actually, and quite lengthy. So I don't understand the appeal of Bruce Lee. I mean, I know he's a great kung fu guy and all, but seeing as how that doesn't necessarily translate into a great movie, I don't really get his whole cult following during the 70s. It's all hype, like bell bottom pants during that time. That's the only thing I can compare it to. But anyways, I didn't think Bruce Lee was ever that talented of a person in terms of acting, but whatever. Um, I think some of the newer kung fu guys are better in that respect. Better actors, I mean. Um, so the movie looks really dated, and you can tell when the Korean guy's in the fight scene by the lack of um, grainy picture versus the Bruce Lee stuff, which does have grainy picture. So I guess that's what they mean when they say that editing is bad. Not to mention the troll face. I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. I had kind of mixed feelings. On the one hand, I didn't think it was bad as people made it out to be. I didn't think it was anything a disgrace against Bruce Lee or anything like that. On the other hand, I was kind of disappointed. I didn't think it was as good as the Total Fraud, which was Bruce Lee fights back from the grave, which I gave 5 stars. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of interesting for trivia's sake, I guess. If you're a Bruce Lee completist, you should check it out. Just for the fight scenes. The story isn't really too intriguing. It's just Chinese syndicate going after Billy Lowe and his girlfriend. Substance there. Although it is kind of interesting how they played up this conspiracy aspect. I don't know if they were trying to get people to believe that Bruce Lee's own death was a conspiracy in a similar vein. But that aspect was kind of interesting to me. I know there are a lot of people out there who think that Bruce Lee was killed deliberately. So that's yet another conspiracy right up there with Elvis, Hitler, 9/11, Holocaust. What other? JFK. Did I name all the conspiracies that I know? James Henry Fetzer probably knows all of them. But in any case, I'm not much of a big believer in conspiracies. Stuff is kind of intriguing. For instance, was it Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ's mistress, said that LBJ wanted JFK killed so that he can become president. It kind of makes sense. I mean, the guy was power hungry, and the sociopaths are attracted to office of the presidency anyway. Just look at the two lame brains running for president now. One has a disapproval rating of 60%, and the other has a disapproval rating of 55%. So now we're living in an idiocracy. It wouldn't surprise me. But that's the only real conspiracy theory that intrigues me. I used to be into the 9/11 conspiracy stuff, especially my hippie coworker. She used to take her bra off at on the Muni bus. She sent me this French conspiracy theory website. Then I started getting Alex Jones and some 9/11 truther people like Don White. Still has great taste in movies, by the way. I'm going to check out some of his movies. But then it kind of lost interest, especially with Alex Jones. He's into fear porn and stuff. So I kind of gave that up. Same thing with Ron Paul. I used to be big into Ron Paul, and I just use his websites to teach my son math and stuff. Not really big into politics these days. So that's about it. Sorry for the diversion there. I just wanted to talk a little bit about various conspiracy theories that I've come across during my lifetime. So it's kind of going off on a tangent, but sort of within the same realm of what this movie reminded me of. Anyways, not a great flick, not a horrible flick. It's kind of in the middle. Although people who review this movie kind of either hate it or love it. I'm one of the few people who's kind of in the middle. That sort of thing. But it did get a 6 rating, 6 out of 10 on IMDb, which is what I'm giving it also. 3 out of 5. Um, yeah, yeah, I pretty much agree with the consensus view. Somewhere in the middle. If you average all the votes together, all the haters and the lovers, comes out to about a 6 out of 10. So there's that. Yeah, I'm just gonna crash now. I don't want to watch Big Boss unless I wake up early, but I didn't really get much sleep last night, so just checking out Netflix. Finally got my wage garnishments corrected. Yeah, that took months and months and months. At least now I don't have to pay so much child support and then wait for a dang refund. Stupid inept government these days. Anyways, the wheels of government. Still waiting for a decision from the appeals court. Don't know if they're going to hold the other party in contempt, do nothing, or just grant the latest phony stipulation order. So the plot thickens. Still going through that whole rigmarole. But should be interesting to see how that plays out. It was interesting how they reacted to it. My appellant's opening brief. What else is going on? Well, I'm waiting to be hired as a permanent employee. Still working as a temp. I guess management is kind of sitting on my paperwork. So that kind of sucks. I'm stuck with Obamacare. First, they told me they were going to cancel it due to non-payment. And I called them and said, "Where's the cancellation notice that you never sent me?" "Oh, we will reinstate it for you. You can pay over the phone this Friday." I'll send them a check for half the amount. I'll just call to confirm that's been reinstated. You're a pain in the arse. That is. Can't wait to get my own employer-sponsored health care. No, I'll have to pay $555 a month, know what I'm saying? So I guess I've been going off about unimportant stuff. I'll let you go later.